Hi, welcome back to this channel. Here I'm going to cover a game where I play white and black is rated 2098. So I start off the game with e4, he chooses c5, the Sicilian. I play standard knight f3, he plays knight c6, and here I play d4, he takes, I take, and he plays e6, which is one of the main lines. Here I play bishop e3, guarding my knight and developing my bishop at the same time. He plays knight f6, attacking my e4 pawn, so I defend it with knight c2. Here I didn't choose knight c3 because I was afraid he would play bishop b4 and pin the knight, threatening to take my e4 pawn. So here I played knight d2. He pushed his pawn to a6, preventing my knight to go to b5. I pushed my pawn to g2, preparing bishop g2. He played bishop b4, which I was scared of, but here I had c3. So he moved his bishop back. This was a surprising choice of move because here he blocks his pawn structure, and honestly I expected him to go to e7 with his bishop. And here I kind of got confused, and my idea was after this move to play e5 after taking his knight. But I completely forgot about my pawn. However, the opponent was nice enough not to take it, and he played queen c7. I played my knight back because I realized my mistake and I defended my pawn consequently. He castled. I put my bishop on g2, second guarding the pawn. He put his bishop on e4. I didn't quite understand the meaning of this move. I guess he wanted to trade bishop and knight. I put my rook on c1, my idea being if he takes the knight on d4, then I take it with my pawn and I open up my rook in the c file. So of course he didn't choose to do it and he played b5, his idea being to play bishop b7. However, I took his knight now and I castled. Here, just to be noted, my idea was to play f4, and once he moves his bishop back, it was to play e5. The idea being to attack his queen and knight at the same time. But I couldn't do that because he played this move now, and if I would continue with my plan, he would just checkmate me because my king would have no defense otherwise. So here, before playing that, I first played queen e2, where now if I move my pawn, then my queen defends my bishop. So he plays rook c8, and now I carry on with my plan. But here he also has the idea of taking my bishop and calling it an even trade. And after this, since his knight was on attack, he moves it to g4. I defend it, and he plays this interesting break d6. The idea being to break open the position because his position is clamped. Here I can choose to take or leave it as it is. But here if I leave it as it is, it destroys my pawn structure. So I chose to take and move my knight forward, forcing his bishop to do another move and waste his time. And then I put my rook in the open file. He took my bishop, I took back, and he attacked my rook. I doubled up. And here a quick lesson: whenever a trade is offered, it's not always important to take it. Here I chose to play rook d6, just keeping the tension alive, not being in a hurry. This is a good decision to make because now the choice is his whether he wants to trade or not. He chooses not to, and I still keep the tension on while getting the 7th rank to myself. Now he chooses to take, which is good for me, as you would have thought, because I get my rook on the 7th file and nothing could get better. Here he played a5, which was a surprising move because now it allows me to play knight g5. And how is he defending his f7 pawn? Because if he pushes it forward, then I just take the pawn on e6, and if he defends it with his rook, I just take his free bishop. So here he's forced to give up his pawn, which he does. So I just take his free pawn and bring my knight to the d6 square, preparing rook b7. So he plays rook c5. I didn't quite understand the idea behind this. I guess he wanted to play rook d5. I played rook b7, attacking his bishop. He defends it, but now I can take the pawn with my knight, and I do. And it forces his bishop to move again. An instructive lesson here. You see how many times his dark squared bishop is moving in the position, and it is slowly giving me an edge over him. This is something that is important to do to keep your chances of winning alive. So we carry on with me bringing my knight back to a safe square, and he pushes his pawn. I just take, he takes, and here this allows me to do a fork of his rook and his bishop. So here he defends the fork by doing this, but now it allows me to play rook b8. The idea being the bishop is pinned to the king, and I'm threatening to just take it, and he has no way to defend it, if you can see. So he plays one waiting move, and I take, and he resigns. So this was quite a dominant game. Thank you for watching.